Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of As You Like It by William Shakespeare. This play is a pastoral comedy. In this, we find Frederick has usurped the duchy and he has also exiled his older brother, Duke Senior. Now, Duke Senior's daughter is Rosalind, and he permits, that is, Frederick permits Rosalind to remain in the court. And the reason is Rosalind is a very close friend of Frederick's only daughter, Celia. And he knows that Celia will be upset if Rosalind leaves the court, so he allows Rosalind to stay there. Orlando is a young gentleman of the kingdom and he has fallen in love with Rosalind in the very first sight, and now he is about to go flee from his house because his older brother Oliver has persecuted him and therefore he has to leave his house and go. Now Frederick becomes angry and he banishes Rosalind from court. Celia and Rosalind decide to run away together, accompanied by the court full Touchstone, with Rosalind disguised as a young man and Celia disguised as a poor girl. Now Rosalind, who is now disguised as Ganymede, and Celia is now disguised as Alania, arrive in the Arcadian forest of Arden, where the exiled Duke now lives. So they have come to see Senior Duke, and the Duke is living with some supporters, and among them is the melancholy Jack, who is introduced weeping over the slaughter of a deer, showing that he is such a very kind-hearted. Now Ganymede, who is Rosalind, and Elena, who is Celia, they do not go and meet the Duke immediately, but instead they meet Corian, who is an impoverished tenant, and offer to buy his master's crude cottage. Orlando and his servant Adam find the Duke and his men and are soon living with them. And now Orlando is posting beautiful love songs for Rosalind on the trees. Rosalind is also in love with Orlando and she meets him, but she is disguised as a man and under the name of Ganymede, and she pretends to counsel him to cure him of being in love. Ganymede says that he will take Rosalind's place and that is, she will be in the place of Rosalind, but she is the person who is really Rosalind. And Orlando can act out their relationship, that is, he can express all the love he has for Rosalind to her, and in that way she says, I will cure you of your love. Now the shepherdess Phoebe, with whom Silvius is in love, has fallen in love with Ganymede without knowing that she is actually Rosalind, a female in disguise, though Ganymede continuously says that he is not interested in Phoebe. Now Touchstone, meanwhile, has fallen in love with the dull-witted shepherdess Audrey and tries to wound her, but eventually is forced to be married first. William, another shepherd, attempts to marry Audrey as well, but is stopped by Touchstone, who threatens to kill him 150 ways. Finally, Silvius, Phoebe, Ganymede, and Orlando are brought together in an argument with each other over who will get whom. And Ganymede says that he will solve the problem, having Orlando promised to marry Rosalind and Phoebe to promise to marry Silvius if she cannot marry Ganymede. And Orlando sees that Oliver in the forest and rescues him from a lioness, causing Oliver to repent for mistreating Orlando. Oliver meets Celia in disguise and falls in love with her, and they agree to marry. Orlando and Rosalind, Oliver and Celia, Silvius and Phoebe, and Touchstone and Audrey are married. And finally discover that Frederick has also repented his faults, and Frederick has decided to restore his legitimate brother to the dukedom, and he is going to follow a religious life. Jack, ever melancholic, declines the invitation to return to the court, preferring to stay in the forest and adapt a religious life as well. Rosalind speaks an epilogue commenting on the play of two men and women in the audience, and here ends the play. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box, like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.